Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be playing in one of my favorite luxury brands, which happens to be Tom Ford. He recently released 3 new palettes and I grabbed them all. Of course I did. I call my Tom Ford dealer, sent me the pictures and I was like, no, I just need to get one and calm down. But somehow or another, I ended up with all 3. So you guys are going to get 3 different looks. I'm going to give you guys swatches of these palettes. We're going to talk about them and then I'm going to give you guys my thoughts at the end. So let me go ahead and just dive into these. First off, yes, these are very expensive. They are $88 a piece. I remember the very first time I was meeting Kelsey to eat with her and she had just picked up, I think it was the Honeymoon palette, and I hadn't gotten into Tom Ford yet, and I remember like swatching them and being like, why did you just spend this much money on them? And I don't think I really truly appreciated the texture and the performance and everything until I started working as a beauty stylist at Nordstrom, and I really truly fell in love with the quality and the difference in textures. And these are all the wet dry formula, which is like the Nude Dip and Honeymoon. So I have an appreciation for Tom Ford. I know everybody doesn't, but I most certainly do. But let me stop rambling and just get into each of these. So first off, I have the Double Indemnity palette number 5. This is the one that I am currently wearing. And like I said, this is both wet and dry. So the swatches that you guys are going to be seeing are swatched dry first and then wet. So you can see the difference in intensity when you decide to use it wet. In my videos that I decided to use them all dry except for the one time with the liner, just because I want you guys to be able to see what they can do on their own. So there's the number 5 Double Indemnity, and then the next one is Body Heat. This is number 3. Oh, I think that this is my favorite out of the 3 new ones. I love this palette. This is what I was wearing in my yesterday's video. Yes, and I got a lot of comments asking, where's the tutorial? Tutorials today. So here are the swatches. Again, we're swatching them first dry and then wet right beside it. And I will be showing you guys comparisons at the end, so you can see what some of these look like up against Nude Dip and Honeymoon, because I know a lot of people are going to think Honeymoon with this one. And then the last one, this is the one I almost didn't get because the picture seemed very yellow to me. This is number 4, Suspicion, and this is what it looks like. This is so gorgeous. I'm so glad that I did not skip out on it, because at first I was like, I don't really love really yellowy golds on me, but then I was like, maybe. And then my Tom Ford dealer sent me a picture of it up close, like just a phone picture. I was like, okay, give me all 3. I need all 3 of these. So this one right here, it's beautiful. It's like an everyday palette, and it's just gorgeous. I have nothing bad to say about them. So let me go ahead and I'm going to get into these 3 different eye looks. I'm going to start off with this one right here. 2 of them I am wearing lashes in, and then the last one I am not. I just felt like being extra. I mean, it's Tom Ford, so there's that. So let me go ahead and jump into this one. For today's look, I used the Double Indemnity palette, and I started off with the Sonia G Blender Pro and the Cool Tone Brown shade in the palette. Now, this definitely looks gray whenever I'm putting it on my skin, but it is a cool tone brown. I'm starting off on the outer corner, and then as less pigment is on my brush, I start to blend it upward into the crease and into the transition area. I'm just going back and forth with the palette to make sure that I don't get too much pigment where I don't want it. Next, I'm taking a Zoeva 227 and the black. I'm packing that on the outer corner and then bringing it upward and slightly into the crease. But I want the majority of this color to be right on the outer corner and kind of smoking the look out. On an Esom W21, I'm using the dark silver shade in the palette, and I'm packing this all over the lid, tapping over the black and bringing it up to the crease. And I'm using this shade Dry. With the lightest shade on a MAC 242, I'm going to highlight the brow arch as well as my inner corner. Now I want to make sure the majority of the color is on the inner corner, but I'm also bringing that shade slightly over the darker gray to get a nice blend out of the look. Then I dust off some of my bake before going in on the lower lash line with the first shade we used on a Smith 220. I'm just taking that and I'm smoking out the lower lash line, just going in back and forth motions. Now on a Sonia G Pencil Pro, I'm taking the highlight shade again and I'm placing this on the front portion of the lower lash line. Lastly, on a Wangas number 05, I'm taking the black right up against the lower lashes, just being really careful not to get this to come down too far. And then I'm going to take a clean Wangas number 17 and I'm blending all around the edges to make sure we have a nice blended finished look. And then to finish off this look, I used Milk Boss liner on the top inner rim and Kiss Ritzy lashes. And on my lips, I have on Makeup Forever's pencil. They'll be listed down below, as well as Sending Nudes from Stilazzi. Now we are going into my favorite palette, the Body Heat, and I'm starting off with the reddish shade on a Sonia G Builder 3. I am packing this all over the lid, all the way up to the crease, all the way to the outer and inner corner. Right around the edges of that, I'm taking the third shade in the palette on a Refer SO1. I start off right up against the red, a little harsh, and then I slowly blend that color upward for a transition. You just don't want to go in with this too much. I literally dipped in one time and then worked it back and forth and then blended it upward. I'm going back in with the red shade on a Wangas number 19, and I'm blending that right directly into the crease for a seamless smoky eye effect. On a MAC 242, I'm taking the lightest shade and I'm going to highlight my brow arch. Then I dust off some of my bake before going in again with that red shade on a Wangas number 27S. I'm running that all along the lower lash line, again, back and forth motions. Wangas number 20 and the cool brown shade, I am taking that and I'm just blending this color right underneath the red. Going back for the highlight shade on a MAC 228, I am highlighting the inner corner. Now I want to add some depth to the top lash line, so I'm taking the last shade in the palette and I'm using it wet on a Royal & Lang Nickel BOM 485. I'm running this just right up against the lash line. I go back and forth and just kind of tap and swipe this into place. And then to finish off the look, Kiss Ritzy lashes, Milk Boss liner, top inner rim, and then I'm wearing Tom Ford Blush Nude on top of Chanel's liner in Natural. Lastly, we have the Suspicion palette. So this look is a little bit more intense at the beginning. So to start off, I have already put Milk Boss Liner on the inner rim, top and bottom. Now I'm going to take the NABLA Velveteen Bombay Black Liner and running it right against the lower lashes. Then before it dries, I'm taking a MAC 219 to smudge it out. After that, I do the same thing to the top lash line. This just is going to add some smokiness and depth to the look. Now on a Smith 247, I'm taking the top right shade and placing it into the crease and blending it out. I'm also going to be taking that on the inner and outer corner and kind of covering up the liner. I'm still using the same shade, but this time on a MAC 221, and I'm going over the black liner on the lower lash line. With an Isom S33, I'm taking the darkest shade in the palette and I'm placing this directly into the crease to add depth and then softly working it upward. Again, I'm also going to be taking this to the inner and outer corner. For the lower lash line, I'm using that shade closest to the lashes on a Smith 220. To highlight my brow arch, I'm using the first shade in the palette on a MAC 242. And now I want to add a little color to the center of the lid. You can use your finger if you want this to be a little bit more intense or use it wet, but I am using an Isom W21 and the gold in the palette, and I'm tapping it on the center of the lid. And I'm just kind of going back and blending around the edges. Lastly, I am highlighting the inner corner with a Royal & Lang Nickel BOM 420 and the first shade in the palette. I touched up my liner at the end because I did get a little bit of shadow adhere to it. And then I added just mascara, and then I have Dior Moon only on the lips. So I think it's pretty clear how I feel about these. Can you not tell by the smile on my face? And I feel like I just get like, I don't know, a little giddy about things that I really enjoy. And I'm so glad that I got these. These are just beautiful. And like I said, my favorite one is definitely body heat. This one just gives me the feels. I just absolutely love this one. And then second, I think that it would actually be Suspicion. I like this one because it's cool tone and whatnot, but this one I think I'm going to get a little bit more wear out of, and it's just beautiful. So I don't think you can go wrong. Warm lovers, you're going to love the Suspicion. If you want something more cool toned, definitely go for the one that I'm wearing today. And in certain lights, this shade right here looks kind of greenish, like a greenish gray. It's really beautiful. And there's a little sparkle in this black as well. If you use that wet all over black smoky eye, done and done. You will be looking like fire. And then the last one I think is more, it's kind of neutral cool, neutral warm, and neutral. Just anybody can wear this one, I think. So I really enjoyed these. I did get a little bit of fallout with some of them, but again, if you use them wet, you're not going to get fallout like at all. I found no issues with blending. I found no issues with pigmentation. I just didn't have any problems with these at all. They are true to form, just like the Nude Dip and Honeymoon. If you like that formula, you're just gonna love these. And if you're a Tom Ford lover, yeah, grab them. These are pretty much available everywhere. I know a lot of places have sold out of a certain color or two or all of them. They're on Beautylish, they're on Nordstrom, they're on SEPHORA. Pretty much any retailer that has Tom Ford has these, but yeah, they're selling out like quickly. So get your hands on them if you're interested. I'm sure they'll be restocked. They're not limited edition or anything like that, but that is my 2 cents. I love these. I think they're beautiful. I'm so happy that I have them in my collection, and yeah, like I have once been told, if you cut me, I would bleed a little bit of Tom Ford. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know which eye look was your favorite, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.